Welcome, listeners. This is Sanjog Aul, your host, and here's the topic for conversation. Is Hexaware Amaze for applications a panacea for legacy application modernization? So, today, the business dynamic is changing continuously, and enterprises are embracing digitization like never before. In such an environment, it's often the applications and systems that would determine their capability to adapt, grow, and stay competitive. While companies are dabbling in creating multi-channel and multi-touch new age experiences, many are still heavily dependent on legacy applications. And we all know that modernizing legacy applications has been a chronic challenge due to multiple reasons for many decades. Hexaware claims that their Amaze for Applications platform can help modernize legacy applications at unprecedented speed, quality, and cost savings through automation, minimizing human intervention, and deliver results in a matter of weeks. What proof does Hexaware have to justify this claim, and how is Amaze for Applications different from the other automation solutions in the landscape? Is Hexaware Amaze for Applications a panacea for legacy application modernization genuinely? To discuss this, I have with me Srinivasan Panchapakesan. Srini is the Executive Vice President and Global Head Application Transformation Management in Hexaware, a consulting firm focused on transforming IT solutions and solving complex business problems using a combination of human creativity and intellect. Their three-pronged strategy of automate everything, cloudify everything, and transform customer experiences enables enterprises fast-track into the digital era. Hello, Srini. Thank you for joining us.
Hey Sanjog, thank you for having me.
Great. So, Srini, what do you see as some of the biggest challenges related to legacy application modernization that enterprises face today? And what's holding back IT leaders from migrating all their legacy applications to cloud?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. It's indeed a great question. Organizations have been using legacy applications for decades. Most of these places, the original developers or the architects or the subject matter experts are already left the organization, leaving no documentation in many enterprises. So we have seen 7 out of 10 application modernization engagements do not have SMEs to understand the application design and features. In a typical legacy application, there are various complexities which challenges in the real-time and batch interfaces, database dependencies, batch schedulers and programs, and security integration. The big challenges for enterprise is to engage and embrace into the cloud migration and modernization. Migrating these capabilities of an on-prem application to cloud is more complicated than developing a new applications on cloud. This is basically because the technical constructs that they have done in the few decades ago has been very cloud unfriendly or on-premise dependent, which is becoming a challenge for migrating them into the cloud. So traditionally, what happened is cloud migration of legacy applications involve a lot of manual effort that contributes some higher amount of risk in moving these applications to cloud. One of the study predicts that 70% of application modernization programs get delayed or incurred cost overruns, leading to a lot of pain to the enterprises. CIOs and engineering team wants to migrate these legacy applications on priority due to business pressures, but face tough challenge in figuring out where to begin, how to do this, and sitting with a huge several millions of lines of complex code sitting in the application with a lot of interdependencies within their internal systems and external systems. So that become a bigger challenge for these legacy applications to be migrated onto the cloud.
Great. So, Hexaware, Srini, is claiming that its Amaze platform for applications can help modernize legacy applications at a speed, quality, and cost savings unlike ever before. My question will be, what's so unique and game-changing about Amaze compared to other automation solutions already available for legacy application transformation?
Yes, we indeed claim Hexaware Amaze for applications is a differentiated automation that we could help a legacy modernization into cloud. Hexaware innovated Amaze for application platform efficiently address the cloud migration challenges of legacy applications built using Java, .NET systems and age-old applications. At the heart of Amaze is an application replatforming with a higher level of automation. Amaze is differentiated with a lot of capabilities and tools that leverages automation. First, thoroughly assess the legacy application code to understand the readiness and the migration possibilities, and also do containerization readiness, what kind of transformation that it is required, and how complex this code and what are all those interdependencies or the legacy design patterns that eliminates or challenges these applications to be migrated into cloud. For our legacy applications that have no active releases, for example, applications that do not have a roadmap, we do simple containerization. For applications that are planned for 2-3 releases, we normally recommend not only do a containerization, we also do an automation, which means that there are some DevOps and CI/CD pipelines being built for those legacy applications when they move into modern platform that facilitates easy way of release engineering. The third and most popular one, what we do is we not only migrate these applications into modern platforms, we bring application monolith fat applications into microservices and enable API enablement being done along with automation. That enable the enterprises to successfully migrate not only into cloud, but also eliminate certain dependencies of license and provide a much scalable environment for the new and modern application. I hear you, there are tools, yes, but unfortunately, to our best of our knowledge, there is no equivalent platform or tool that we could find which Amaze can provide. Amaze not only do an intuitive and in-depth analysis, but also transform all these legacy implementations which are specific, which are using WebLogic or .NET related systems into the modern platform, which is the cloud-friendly design patterns, and auto convert these applications and enable them into cloud. It also have unique algorithm to break these applications into microservices, which facilitates deploying these applications into service-oriented architecture that enable enterprises to leverage maximum value out of these legacy applications. See, once that scan is complete, we do provide a detailed assessment report that facilitates and insights about the current legacy applications, what are all the possibilities, where we have dependencies, and we not only let them know, we also transform these applications. See, some of the tools that you talked about has no capabilities to that extent. Ours is a patent pending technology at this point of time. And we have come across situations where our customers have used certain other tools to do an assessment, but don't know what to do after that, and try and do a manual exercise of migrating these legacy application, which has end up failing this entire initiatives. And in the process, they lost the complete accountability of this process. Wherein in our offerings and capabilities, that Amaze for applications not only do an assessment, but it also transforms the application code into a modern platform. And we take the complete accountability to ensure so that the enterprises don't face any risk of in their modernization journey.
So, Srini, frankly, based on how you've described your Amaze platform, it truly sounds like science fiction. To what degree have you tested Amaze in the field on real projects? How have your customers benefited from it? And also, what did your customers and you truly learn during these efforts?
This is indeed a great question. See, for us, our customer first and customer success is most important. So when we want to bring in such kind of automation, we want to make sure that we completely validate and perform in our customer environment to facilitate the success that the customer has achieved onto this. I have few case studies that I can talk about. One of them is being a large mortgage company, which has taken a journey of modernizing their IT legacy applications into a cloud enablement initiative. But they have taken a step saying that if aren't broke, let's don't fix it. This is because the fear factor by working on a legacy application, by touching it, and where there is a lot of dependencies of applications, they have a big challenge of failure. So the fear is the biggest threat for them. We in there and ensured and educated the customer that we take this accountability on us to help you migrate your legacy applications into a modern platform. We implemented our tool and product over a million lines of code that has been from two of the applications. We did the complete analysis and assessment in a week time and facilitated a roadmap and plan and explained to them what is the current status of our application, how the modern architecture going to be, what are the tools and technology that we can facilitate and do, and configured Amaze for application in such a way that it generated that automatic transformation code in compliance with the requirement. And we completed the entire engagement and delivered back to them in 4 weeks' time. This is with no dependency from the customer side or less dependency with respect to any SME availability or whatsoever. The pilot was very successful and recognized by the customer both from time, cost, and success criteria that we have defined, and no risk to them. Likewise, we attempted another pilot with a leading custodian bank where there's a legacy applications. This use case is even more interesting, where not only they want to migrate this application, they want to introduce new channels of operation for this application. So current legacy application doesn't provide flexibility for them to introduce new channels. What we did is we migrated and brought into a service-oriented platform where multiple services are enabled with an API exposing, which enabled the customers to implement a new user interface for a mobile application and try and connect. So we attempted, we validated, we proved into the market and into multiple engagement. In the process, we also learned and we have incorporated those learning back to this product and made this robust as of today.
Let's take a quick break, listeners. We'll be right back after these messages. And Srini, when we come back, let's talk about the measures of success and the ROI calculation that we could put in place for such a transformation project. How are the IT leaders doing that so that they can compare your Amaze for Applications platform against such benchmarks? Please stay tuned, listeners. We'll be right back.
Organizations across industries are leveraging cloud elasticity and automation for efficiency, scalability, and cost optimization. Are your monolithic legacy applications holding you back from agility and resilience? Introducing Hexaware's Amaze for Applications. Amaze automates migration of legacy Java and .NET applications to cloud in a matter of 6 weeks. Save over 60% in TCO and time. Benefit from 30 days warranty support. Hexaware's Amaze for Applications. Automate your cloud migration journey at speed, at scale. Visit hexaware.com today.
This is CTN Brandcast on CIO Talk Network.
Welcome back. So, Srini, how should IT leaders define measures of success and determine the ROI for such a transformation project so that they can compare your Amaze platform against such benchmarks?
Yes, Sanjog, this is a very important question indeed. See, success factors, in our opinion, is defined in 3 different dimensions. One is a TCO reduction and an ROI. We guarantee our customers using Amaze for application platform, you have an ROI within a year. The TCO, which is involved in a huge license cost and infrastructure cost, as well as the tools and dependencies that you have at this point of time, is being facilitated and migrated. When you use WebLogic, we migrate them into a Tomcat. You use TIBCO or web methods as middleware, it gets migrated into an open source platform. And as well, the batch programs that is getting moved into Spring Batch. The databases side, we do migrate Oracle, DB2, Sybase, and SQL servers into either into Postgres or MySQL. That provides some large reduction in the license cost. As well, when these monolith applications sit in a large enterprise infrastructure, your scalability becomes a bigger challenge and you incur a huge cost fee to scale these applications. These applications, when migrated and deployed at microservices, you have a flexibility of scaling what is required for the business rather than just like that scaling at a platform level. That has added consumption savings for the customer. Second important point that we see is in a productivity improvement. When we provide the entire CI/CD and DevOps pipeline to the customers, the release cycle is completely optimized. In some cases where we see release cycles of 3 to 6 months has been optimized into few weeks. And in fact, you can have multiple releases as well. These are some of the ROI that we believe that it can help. As well, we enhance the productivity that facilitates easy way of maintaining and sustaining these applications.
So, how well does Amaze work with the existing tool set a company might have and the cloud platforms that an organization may be using? Can they preserve any of such investments already made in their ongoing legacy application transformation journey?
Hexaware has a philosophy of aligning to customer interest and leveraging customer investments. Amaze is designed and developed in line with this philosophy. Amaze has an extensive flexibility, configurability, extensibility, and higher level of customization that we can do to suit to every enterprise needs. We typically spend first week in understanding the enterprise architecture, the tools and product ecosystems within the enterprise. As part of the application intake process, we configure Amaze in such a way to leverage these kind of existing investment that the customer has so that we leverage maximum out of the current and enterprise investments. If a customer is already using any kind of CI/CD pipeline or DevOps or kind of tools and products in their ecosystems and enterprise architecture, we configure Amaze to use these technologies to ensure that our transformed application is in line with their standards and technologies, as well leveraging these investments. This ensures both preserving customer investment as well as conforming with the architecture standards of the customer enterprise ecosystem.
So, how should an enterprise get ready before a legacy application transformation effort using your Amaze platform?
Yes, customer can get ready for application transformation in some of these few lines. See, application release plan. First step for us is to understand, do you have any immediate release plan for these applications? If so, we will prefer them to be replanned in such a way so that next to 6 to 8 weeks, you don't have a release plan, unless otherwise you have any emergency hard fixes that we can retrofit into the application. This facilitates Amaze to work independently onto the current application code, and in the process, we completely regenerate, do the assessment, and complete this transformation for it. We work along with them in case of SIT and UAT. And we also facilitate development team skills update because the legacy applications using different set of technology and the new transformed application is going to have a modern technology for which we will work with them in parallel doing the development team skills update in acquiring new cloud technologies as well as the modern way of implementing. We believe SIT and UAT, we expect to have a higher level of support from the customer because at the end of the day, the application logic and functionality belongs to the customer. Wherein if there is any test cases that they have, we provide automation in such a way that these test cases are automated. Otherwise, we do take some help and support from the customer organization for which we expect customer to be ready with that. We provide optional services in case if customer is having difficulties in augmenting this test enablement through support services from our other lines of business on that.
So, Srini, if an organization picks Amaze for transforming their legacy applications, what guarantees do they have that it'll work? How can you help them reduce risk and perhaps even timely stop the project if it's not going well? And how can you work overall to make sure that you increase the odds of success?
Yes, we defined our theme and focus in delivering value to customer and risk on us. When I mean that, we definitely guarantee customers for favorable outcomes. As I said, these application entire modernization initiatives, unlike many couple of years that the customer used to do, we complete these engagement in the matter of 4 to 6 to 8 weeks time as based on the complexity of the application. So the risk with respect to the entire duration is very limited when compared to the legacy way of doing the modernization. So we completely take risk on us, and we guarantee customers that you pay us only when you see it. That means whether your applications are deployed onto an SIT environment, we meet all the exit criteria that it is required for it, so that the customer feels comfortable and the entire risk of execution is on us and the value is for the customer. We also favorably guarantee the completion on time with respect to that timeline that we talked about. We also guarantee that it passes all the exit criteria and test cases that has been defined for this application. We guarantee to meet the existing on-prem performance metrics or exceeds them comfortably, meets and exceeds all the security requirements of the current application. We demonstrate and guarantee a lower TCO because we eliminate your existing on-prem license costs, your infrastructure costs are optimized, your tools are optimized, by which you will leverage and favorably guarantee the TCO outcome. We also guarantee reduction in technical debt from your current application. It is on the same level or reduced level in such a way that our modernization initiatives and the code that is being generated from our platform is not adding any technical debt. So these are some of the favorable guarantee that we give. We also provide warranty services for a period as per the scope of engagement to make sure that the customer gets all the benefit.
Once again, thank you, Srini, for sharing your insights about the challenges regarding legacy application modernization that the enterprises are facing today and how Hexaware's Amaze for Applications platform can help.
Thank you, Sanjog, for the time and opportunity to interact with you.
And listeners, I invite you to find related conversations on our website at ciotalknetwork.com.